person talking about love, man, brother, is the preacher. And it seems nobody's interested in learning but the teacher.
Hey, Chalk Talkers, welcome back. Got another episode today. Today we're a little short-handed. It's just me and Jeron holding it down. But I think that's going to make it maybe a little better because we don't have two meatwads slowing us down. So, Jeron, first, want to make sure, last week you were talking about moving. I want to make sure all that went well. How'd that go?
All of it did go well. I'm in.
You're in the place?
I'm in. We got everything moved in like 2 hours. Just barely over 2 hours. We loaded and unloaded the truck. And then I'm kind of like psychotic when it comes to unpacking, so I didn't go to bed till everything was put away.
Oh, really?
My wife did the kitchen because I'm going to do that all wrong. So I just handled everything else and stuff that's not important. So we're in. I'm glad it's over with.
I wish I would be more motivated to get boxes. I've lived in my house for about 7 months. I still have a good chunk of boxes, and it's like it's a house. We're staying there. It's not like an apartment. We're gonna move soon. We're staying there.
We always had that room, and we still kind of have that room. Like there was that extra room where you just stuff shit in it, and the closet's full. Like there were boxes from this move that have not been opened for probably 2 or 3 moves. They just always get stuffed into like the closet of the extra bedroom or like the storage unit. This time I finally got rid of a lot of that stuff, but some of it I can't.
Yeah, you always end up keeping some stuff that you
I've got at least 3 boxes of shit that if the house burnt down, I wouldn't even know I still had them.
But there's going to come that one time you're going to be like, oh, I have that.
Yeah.
And be able to find it.
Perfect. I have a high camcorder. This will be awesome. I actually do. In one of these boxes, it's, you remember when they came out with DV cameras? Mm-hmm. So it's like digital, but it was still actually not.
Right.
So I had one of those. Back when I was in high school, I actually started a detailing business and detailed cars through all of high school, and I started it to pay for this camera because this is not the first awkwardly janky setup I've done in my life where I've put on wigs and stuff. It's different.
Yeah.
But so I really wanted this camera. It was like $700-800, and so I had no money. I had no job, so I figured I'd detail cars because I like cars. Mm-hmm. But that camera is in this box.
There you go.
Yeah.
Detailing cars is a fun job. I did that for a while. That was
good.
Entertaining.
I started up when I was like, I want to say 15, something like that. Because of the internet, I was able to look very credible to people that didn't know I was 15.
Right.
So I started, I wrote articles on there, I built a website, I was really active in a lot of the forums, and I started organizing car shows and car meets and stuff like that. So,
see, I got lucky that the guy who ran our business knew what he was doing with the cars and then wouldn't let us people who worked on the cars meet the other people because we didn't know anything about cars. I didn't know anything. He just told me to clean. I knew how to clean, so I cleaned.
Yeah.
But I didn't talk to the drivers because they wanted to ask car questions.
You're like, I don't know. I'm 12.
Oh, yeah. Like
That's the same. So I had this one guy. I was getting his car ready for a car show. We had exchanged emails and everything, and being homeschooled, I was relatively well spoken and had a decent sense of grammar. So he shows up, and I'm doing this out of my parents' house at the time. So he shows up to drop the car off. He's like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Yeah, by the way, I need a ride back to like." He's like, "So you're how old?" I was like, I'm 16, but I got my permit. Like, I won't be driving anywhere. Like, I got this." And he's like, "Well, I'm already here, so
kinda
have to do it."
Nice.
So everything went great on that, but this is the worst thing that happened is I lost his car key, and it was a Lexus. So it's the transponder key, and they're like $250, $300. I was charging him $250 to $300, and I took 2 days on that car. It was an entire weekend, like 2 full days, like 11-hour days, and I didn't get paid because I lost the key.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's a lesson. You gotta make sure you keep the keys to the cars. Those are important.
Yeah.
So this weekend at work, last weekend at work, I met a celebrity.
Oh.
Yes.
Whoa.
Princess Monster Truck. It's a cat, and the cat is a celebrity, and I'm supposed to treat the cat like a celebrity.
Like literally?
Like literally, like we were supposed to, hey, high alert, celebrity on property.
Princess Garbage Truck or
Princess Monster Truck. You can Google this cat. It's kind of like the angry cat. It's got two big old buck teeth that hang down, and it looks funny. But Princess Monster Truck. But I have a problem treating a cat like a celebrity. And then I have a problem treating their owners like they've done something special.
Oh, you just own a cat.
They rescued a cat, yeah.
Oh, I think I've seen this cat before.
Right? They basically saved an ugly cat from being in a shelter, and now they get to travel the world for free because their cat is picking up the bill.
If cats could catfish people on the internet, like I imagine, and I only say this because in the last like 2 days, Shayna and I have watched like 10 episodes of Catfish, and so I've been watching people that look like this cat trick people into dating them on the internet for like 2 days. But I could totally picture this one like, oh, putting up pictures of like Sassy from Homeward Bound.
Right.
It's like, oh, damn boy, I love you.
Yeah, so that made for an interesting day at work of tiptoeing around a cat and making sure that the cat was happy. You want your guests to be pleased, so that's good.
Are you going to get reported? Does the cat know how to tell on you if you didn't do a good job?
No, I don't think so. And to be honest, the owners are super nice people, so that made it much, much easier. We've ran into other people who have celebrity pets who may not be quite as polite.
Yeah.
These people happen to be like just straight up nice people
Cool.
who just got lucky and got a cool cat. I find it really weird that cat's a celebrity.
Still strange. Yeah, but if you can make a living off of having kind of a jacked up looking cat, then more power to you, I guess.
And I mean, we're in a time now where, there's tons of celebrity animals. There's Cecil the lion, and
I don't know who that is.
the one, you know who Cecil is? No, Cecil is a lion who got hunted by a dentist.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of that. I didn't know
that
was
was
broke
loose. Yeah.
I just
He's got
know
a brother too. I don't know what the brother's name is, but
I just know there was a dentist shooting lions and people were all pissed off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't shoot famous lions. That's bad.
Sorry.
I'm
not a lion shooter.
Well, really, what the guy should have done was read the name tag on the lion before he shot. You see Cecil, and you're like, oh, can't shoot that one. If you saw a lion named like Al, you'd be like, oh, you can shoot an owl.
You can probably shoot Al. Cecil is a distinguished gentleman.
Right, that's a prestigious name right there.
That has been to some kind of a preparatory school. Oh, shit.
Also watch Fantastic Four, the brand new one this weekend.
Okay.
I'll save you an hour and 45 minutes and $18. It's terrible. There's a lot of talk of issues with the director and different people coming in and finishing the movie. You totally can tell. It's kind of a dark movie. They get their powers and then they just go, oh, a year later, look, we know what we're doing. And it turns into a team bonding movie about how they work together and conquer evil. And we're the Fantastic Four. Oh.
Ends up looking for like one of the training videos for some kind of bad corporate restaurant job.
Right. Remember, guys,
like here at Applebee's, if somebody spills on the floor, we don't just wait for them to clean it up because we're a team.
Yeah, so that'll save you some time. It's bad.
I want to go see Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm actually really excited to watch that. I might go see that tonight.
I do have one issue with the companies putting the movie out. You don't need to flood the airways with the trailer. I've seen on YouTube. I see that trailer every 3 videos, and everybody knows who Straight Outta Compton is. They know that reference. People who are going to see the movie will see the movie no matter what. You could have just said...
Yeah, you don't have to try and open up a new market.
The trailer could have just been Straight Outta Compton, the NWA story, and everybody would have gone and saw it with nothing else on there. So I'm a little worried that maybe we've seen more of the movie than I care to in trailers. Yeah. But it's not going to stop me from seeing it. I'm definitely going to go see that one. I think that looks great.
Have you listened to the new album yet?
No, I haven't listened to the new one.
So I acquired it. I happened across a way to listen to it. It's actually pretty good. I would say the first half is a little bit overproduced and sounds too modern-ish, which is kind of to be expected just because music's changed a little bit.
Right.
But if you get like maybe 4 tracks in, It gets really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets really good again. Probably the worst Dr. Dre album that I've heard him do, but it's one of the best. It's probably the best, or one of the best rap albums I've heard come out in the last. We're setting the bar really low, but like 5 years.
Sure.
I was able to, and I also feel like perhaps, and hopefully this doesn't backfire since I'm talking shit about Dr. Dre, but I feel like perhaps now that he's 50, he's trying to like remind you of the fact that he's still hard, because there's like, I feel like there's about 5 different killings that happen, and rather than just be like, oh, I'll kill you, motherfucker, pop, pop, song starts, it ends up being like a 2-minute murder scene that's just audio. So like I put it on and we're lifting to it, we're benching and stuff last Saturday, and I was like, oh yeah, I love the CD, I love the CD, and then somebody's getting raped. But I was like, okay, I was like, and the song never started, it just kept going, like it kept going, and then they're getting killed, and then they're talking, and then there's choking, then there's gargling, and then it's, oh, and then 3 minutes later I had to get up, like go across the room. I was like, I don't want to just listen to people being murdered right now, I would like at least put it to a beat.
Right.
At least put it to a beat. By Dre. So, aside from that, because there's a few of those, that happens like 3 or 4 times. The album's actually really good. He's got some appearances on there from like Ice Cube and Snoop and stuff, so still worth getting.
Alright. I like how they're using Cube's son in the movie.
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of issues over using Eazy-E's son for the movie. They ended up not using him.
Was he a shithead?
No. So there's a lot of controversy with when after Eazy died, his wife took over the estate, and she wanted what she believed was her fair cut of the NWA stuff that Eazy didn't get.
Yeah.
And so it turned into a big legal issue. So there is talk that Cube made sure Eazy's son wasn't a part of the movie, just to kind of give an extra little stick it to your mom. Now, of course, that's not the way they say it happens. It says they found a better actor and they chose somebody who would be better for the movie.
More qualified for the role.
But just looking at like Cube's son, seeing him in there, the fact that he looks so much like him, I have a hard time believing any acting that goes on in there is going to take away from the movie, because he looks so much like he's just got to act like his dad. That's a pretty easy role to do. It would have been nice to see Eazy's son in there, but I do get some of the politics that go with it. But
who's playing Dre?
I have no idea. Most of the guys playing him are new, up and coming actors, people I've never heard of. Paul Giamatti's in it though, which is pretty good. I like that.
I like him.
I guess they're like the story of the managers will maybe portrayed differently in the movie than in real life. But I think Giamatti's a good guy to fill that role. So
I do too.
That one will be good. Really, otherwise, there's like nothing else.
There's nothing else out that I would pay to go see.
I've heard that we're supposed to see the kids' movie Inside Out about feelings and.
Oh,
it's Pixar, so they do a good job.
I'd watch that. I love Pixar
I'll
movies.
watch them.
I've seen all of those.
A little awkward though going to the movie theater by yourself at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to see a PG movie.
It'll be way less weird if it's the 2 of us.
Oh yeah, sitting right in the middle next to each other.
You just walk in with your bucket of popcorn. Have all this hot butter and popcorn.
All right, today, since we don't have Adrian or Jeff here,
or a topic,
or a topic,
they left us last minute.
We're just gonna kind of go with a few stories that we might have, and
you can call this the highlight reel of Josh and Jeron's
This
life.
gives us a chance to get to know each other a little better, also. So
I know there's a lot of mystique behind what we do here in the attic, and we want to make sure that you don't get intimidated and feel that maybe we're not relatable anymore now that we've amassed such a celebrity following.
Right.
Just the other day, I went to Plaid Pantry, and he was like, "Here you go, sir. Would you like a receipt?" And I was like, "Whoa, you must watch Chalk Talk. I really appreciate it. No photos, no photos. I need to leave."
Yeah, I had something similar the other day when I was walking down the street. There were a bunch of people with their cameras out taking pictures, and I had to cover up my face and tell them, "No, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Now I found out later there was actually a fire going on the building next to me. And that,
you know what? That's just a good backdrop.
that's what I was thinking, was they saw the chance to
just
get
a
the
good
good
backdrop.
background, and I'm
Because
sure,
personally, when I look at you, like, and I imagine, like, if you had hair and it was
Right.
hypothetically blowing in the wind, there would be flames behind you.
Sure.
And you'd be walking away from them slowly.
My worry is, though, I'm going to pop up on TMZ and they're going to blame, like, a cigarette butt that I threw and said that fire was caused by... It wasn't me. I swear. I was just walking. I was going to work.
Speaking of it wasn't me, I have a story.
Ooh.
So, this is going to be good or horrible. So, this is the second time that I ever sang karaoke.
Ooh.
I have a bad habit of doing karaoke in random little like Chinese restaurant dive bars, but I have a list of songs that I'm really good at, and I can just go in and I can do them like falling down drunk or stone sober, and that says a lot because I've soberokied before.
Sure.
And I was like, oh well, I've got all my faculties, maybe I'll try something new. Bad choice.
Right.
I can't sing. I can only do like offensive rap songs. I can talk really fast to a beat, or I can swear really fast to a beat. So. The second time that I sang karaoke, we're at, have you ever been to Lou's? It's now Lou's.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was King's Buffet.
Yep.
Before that it was Hi-Hat.
Okay.
All in 99. So, just changed ownership a bunch of times.
Right.
Somebody's been fired for something, but it's nasty. So we're there, and I was like, alright, well, a couple drinks in, and I was like, I'll go sing a song, why not? And so, this is before I had built up, and I think this is just part of like being a functional adult, is you need to have like your go-to drink, you need to know how many of those you can be without turning into a shithead, and you need to have like a list of karaoke songs to where like, this is tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, that way if you need to throw down you can, and you're never really stepping out of your comfort zone. This is part of my manual to like how to be an adult.
I was with you till the karaoke song levels, but okay.
You work at the Jupiter. You should, like, I feel like you...
I'm one of those where if I would karaoke like I do in the shower, I would kill it.
Okay.
I feel like I can actually sing relatively well, and maybe it's just because I don't sing in front of people and nobody's told me how god-awful I am.
That's fair.
I feel like I'm the type, I would love karaoke if I wasn't so much of a bitch, so to say. Because the one time I did karaoke, I did The Way by Fastball, and I literally stood up there and just talked in my normal voice. Everybody knows you can walk on. Didn't move, just stood there, and that was it. A little bit of a bitch when it comes to that stuff.
Right. So I've had this experience, and that's what happened on Soberoki. It was really awkward, and I think I tried to do. Shit, I don't remember. It was something with singing because I can't sing. I know for a fact I cannot sing. So I do rap songs, or I do things with like random voices that I can do the voice to. This being one of them. And so I'm at the karaoke place. I was like, you know what? I can do a Shaggy voice. We haven't heard from Shaggy in a little bit. And you know what? You're welcome because it sounds like he's making a comeback. It started with me.
There you go.
This was a few years ago. And so I was like, you know what? I could do some Shaggy. So I go in there, I was like, you know what, I'll do It Wasn't Me. I'm not confident enough to do Boombastic yet. I can now. But at the time, I was not at a Boombastic level. So I was like, put me in for that, sit back down, and wait my turn. So at the karaoke bar this particular night, it was middle-aged ladies' night.
Ooh.
And so there was a whole table of like 50-somethings just out on girls' night. Ooh, we love drinking. Give me another wine
The
spritzer.
woo girls.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Woo! Except they're all over.
Jenny's here. Woo!
Oh my God, Carla! They're all singing together. We should do Journey. So I go up there and I'm singing "It Wasn't Me" by Shaggy. And we've got some friends with us. Shayna's sitting back at the table, and I go up there and I was like, "Call me banging in the shower." How about somebody? I was like, "Loving on the sofa." How about somebody? And so I'm up there, and all of a sudden I've got, oh, that's bad. What'd you do?
I didn't do anything.
That's bad.
Technical difficulties.
One moment. Okay, what was the last thing that we got? Chlamydia.
Yeah, that didn't help us.
Okay. friends with us. Shayna's sitting back at the table, and I go up there, and I was like, "I'll be banging in the shower." I was lonely. Okay, so pretty much none of it. So I'm up there singing, and I'm singing all about sex and showers and not getting caught and stuff. And lo and behold, I look down. I've got 3 like 50-somethings overweight people grinding on my legs, and I'm up there. I was like, and we're in the verse. And I was like, oh shit, I don't want to get to the fucking chorus. Don't let me get to the chorus. Call me loving in the shower. Walls on me, humping my right leg. Call me banging in the sofa. Walls on me, humping my left leg. And I'm just standing there like this, just terrified. And Shayna's just sitting back. They're all laughing their asses off in the back. Nobody's coming to save me. And I've got a crowd of like 4 middle-aged overweight women like humping my legs. And I was literally like, oh, I was like, you know what? I'm really uncomfortable right now, and I can't finish this song. So I set the mic back down and I walk away.
Nice. We went karaoke for my wife's birthday a year or 2 ago. We went to the Alibi, North
I've been there.
It's a good little spot, but you really get a feel for people when you, one, see their song choice in karaoke. That lets you know a lot about somebody. And then also, my wife and her friends do this fun game where they get real excited about the song. Oh, we're gonna sing Taylor Swift together.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gonna be great.
Oh,
it's gonna be so
we're gonna
good.
Shake it off.
So good.
And then they get up there, and the song starts, and they spend majority of the time just giggling at each other.
I hate that.
Because friend A messed up the first word, so they need to giggle for 2.5 minutes and not sing another word of the song. Yeah, don't get the point in that one.
See, that's like I was just talking to Shane about this because she also has a list. We don't embarrass ourselves in karaoke.
Right.
It's
Serious
not what our
business.
family does. But like this is, I think, just a drunk chick thing because also even hammered, I don't want to sing a song with somebody else.
Right.
Like I've done like one of my 2 songs. Oh, this would be so sweet. We should do one together. No. Because I don't trust you. You are an unknown variable.
That's right.
I'm an introvert and I am singing in front of people. I don't need any unknown variables. But girls are always like, oh, we're so drunk. Let's get all of us. You come, Natalie, come here. Let's go sing a song. Jessica, come here. And it's like Spice Girls or, I don't know, some shitty
Girls,
thing by Pink.
Yeah. Oh, Pink is a big karaoke one. Yeah.
And then they're like, there's one mic still, but 6 of them, and none of them together know the words. Maybe if you take one piece out of all 6, they can put a sentence together. But it's like, so tell me which one you my God is it? Really, really want one really?
Who wants this? Who's gonna?
Oh my God! And then we're singing karaoke. Oh my God! What you really, really want? And I'll tell you what I want. No. Shut up. Shut up.
I love too because the excuse for doing that is that you don't want to be embarrassed while you're up there.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to make a complete fool of themselves.
So much worse if you
So
don't
worse.
just sing poorly.
Yeah.
Don't sing 2 words and laugh for 3 minutes.
Right.
Because you sound like a cackling moron.
It is way worse. If you suck, people will at least be like, "Oh, hey, they tried. They tried.
Yeah,
well
whatever.
done."
That takes a lot of guts.
But if you just start giggling, then fuck these people. Just wait till they're done and get ready for the next people.
They, one of the little dive bars by our old house, they would do like high stakes karaoke, and you would get a thumb up and thumb down card, and they'd put them at all the tables. So if you suck, everybody can hold up the thumb down card, vote you off the island, and you're done.
Nice.
So if you go up there and you're singing Journey, like the 3rd person of that night, boo! You let leave. You're done. If you get to last the whole song, they give you a $2 drink voucher.
Oh, all right. Well, that's what, one of these times, me and my wife will have to join you and your wife in some karaoke.
I think that'll be fun.
I would like to actually try and do it because I do have 2 songs that I'm quite ready for. One of them is Tenacious D Tribute.
Okay.
I can do the little Scooby-Doo part pretty well, and I know that song really well. Another one is one that's actually been stuck in my head just this last week. Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd. I hate myself for loving that song.
I actually kind of like that song too because it's dumb.
I can feel my face when I'm with you.
Sounds like a stroke.
Can't help it. But we'll make sure Adrian's not there because I don't know if I can take the
I
beration.
love it. I like that song. No, I like that song. Screw Adrian. He's not here today. He can say whatever he wants.
Bench, please.
Oh, works impressed.
Ooh.
Cool. I squat with my legs. I actually do now. I used to apparently not, but I'm not going to call that a Jeron squat.
Hey, there you go.
You want to sing a song right now?
No. Do you want me to?
I just realized that was a legitimate option. Maybe for an outtake.
We'll do it at the end of the show.
Okay.
I'll bust one out for you.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
So I have a fun little story about my work. I work in Northeast Portland, right by the bridge on the east side. Get to see some interesting things late night. Like,
I'm sure.
I work till 11. I've done graveyard in that same area. Worked at the bar there before. The other night, though, there was this interesting, I'm assuming homeless lady, walking around the street. And I say literally the street. She had gotten off the sidewalk. She's now walking in the middle of Burnside. There's 3 lanes. They're all heading east. She's walking down the middle of the middle lane, going west, just strolling along. Gets right in front of our business and decides, I have to shit. Drops trowel, squats in the middle of the road, and just starts going. It was dark out, so you see headlights come up to her. And I'd feel so bad for the first car that would continue to come up. Be like, oh my God, quickly change
can't be a
lanes,
person shitting.
go around this. Like, well, so this lady then realized that there was a large crowd watching her. You get people at a bar, they're drunk.
Yeah.
It's entertaining to watch people poop in the middle of the street. So there's about 20 of us standing on the sidewalk watching this happen. Just all standing there, hey, look at this, there's a lady pooping, waving to cars. So she decided that was a good time to show off a little bit. So she grabbed her cheeks, gave them a little spread and a nice wiggle, 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 and wiggled all the way over to the sidewalk. And then we didn't have the heart to tell this person that this has happened to their car.
Oh no.
But then kind of smeared on their car a little bit. And I don't think it was intentional. But when you're doing that and you're kind of backing up and you're not paying attention to where you're going, you just bump into things. She then decided to pull her pants up and then just sit on the hood of that car. And I know whose car it was. There's no way I'm ever going to say that to that person. Like, I'm not. Like, how do you tell somebody, hey, some homeless person just wiped poop all over your car?
Do they listen to the show?
Have a good day. Like, no, they don't. I hope not.
Well.
So that was fun.
Okay.
Another nice thing I noticed was police did show up. Because crazy lady, middle of the street, they get called.
Yeah.
Their way of solving it was they made sure she put one more pair of pants on over the other pair to make it a little more difficult for her to disrobe. And then said, hey, have a good evening. So we got to watch her then just walk a block down.
Do it again?
And basically do the same stuff. She didn't drop trowel again, but then continued to flip every car off because heaven forbid people have cars and she
I like meth. I sure do like it.
We get shockingly a lot of stuff like that around.
Oh my God.
Portland is chock full of some interesting people.
It's not just Portland though, because I ran into. I mean, there's some whack jobs here for sure. Like there are definitely some whack jobs here, but we ran into a good number of them before I ever moved up here. One time when I got a few. One time I was probably 6-ish. I don't know, young enough to be playing in the park. Mm-hmm. So 15.
Also, too, it's got to be homeschool young enough, which gives you a few extra
18.
years.
I was playing Frisbee when I was 18. But I was probably about 6, and we were down in, I want to say San Clemente. I'm from San Diego originally, so we'd gone somewhere up towards LA, and we just wanted to spend the day up there, and we ended up going to this like park in the middle of the city. I don't remember. I was little,
sure,
or maybe not. Maybe I drove. Maybe I was alone. Maybe my mom wasn't even there. But we're at this park, and we just kind of had the blanket set out, and like we were playing with toys and stuff, and had like a little Nerf football, which I clearly couldn't throw. And I had like a Frisbee, which I probably also failed at throwing. Might have had a wiffle bat that I couldn't hit anything with. Like we were still in the stage of my life where we were trying to get me to have some kind of athletic ability, maybe.
Let's figure out what you're good at.
Yeah. So naturally that didn't work. So I sat in the back of the car to go eat French fries. Found my sport.
Perfect.
I'm on it, Mom. I'm gonna sit here and eat McDonald's fries. And so I'm sitting and I just kind of left all my shit out there, which if you've seen the gym some days, like, it makes sense.
It happens.
So we're getting ready to go. I'm still sitting in the trunk of the car eating French fries. My poor mom's having to clean all our shit up. And so she's packing all that up, and I was like, "Oh, Mom, by the way, I got my wiffle ball over there. There's that person sitting over on the blanket, and I was scared to go get it, so I just left it there." And so this person is wearing a full, like, unitard, or I guess singlet, which I guess that's come to backfire on me too, since whatever.
That's your uniform.
That's like my power suit. But they're wearing a singlet, and they're like kneeling on a blanket on the other end of the park, howling at the sky, and kind of like doing yoga. So it's like howling werewolf tai chi in a singlet. And so I was like, "I'm not getting it, sorry." So she's like, "Okay." So she gets the other stuff in there, gets my sister, like, who's 4 years younger than me, so she was in a car seat, gets her strapped in the back of the car, and goes to get the wiffle ball. Next thing I know, the howling unitard person gets up and starts going like this, ah! And starts howling at her and chasing her. And she's like, "Ooh!" She chucks the wiffle ball, runs to the car, says, "Duck," I duck, slams the trunk, jumps in, peels out, and drives away. So we're driving, and I'm sitting there, and this is back before they had the safety latch. It was a 1990 Jetta. There was no emergency latch in the trunk in case you get stuck. So I'm holding on to, there's this hole behind the license plate, and I'm holding on with my finger as she's like burning out through LA. And I'm trying not to roll around. I've still saved the French fries because I'm fat. So I was like, I've got these on a gyroscope or something. And we ended up pulling over finally. I guess she had found some cops. And then pops the trunk, and her son's in the back, which, again, this was the 90s, so that was okay.
It wasn't as bad.
Like, yeah, no, I bolted the other one into the car seat, but this one's in the trunk, so, you know, shit got crazy. But like, "Oh yeah, that's actually a dude, and he's out there all the time. He's mostly harmless. He doesn't do this that often."
Like, "Oh, Bob, yeah."
"Oh, sorry."
I love that. Like, I picture your mom being like almost like a Liam Neeson type, duck, boom, slamming the door, just getting in the car, gone.
Just straight up mom mode.
When I was in high school one time, I tricked people to get in my trunk all the time.
That sounds...
It wasn't so much as like...
Were you in high school or were you out of high school?
I was in high school, and it wasn't like, "Oh, look, there's candy in there," and I'd shove them in there. But we would tell them that, like, "Hey, this would be really funny. You should hold this camera, and I'll drive really slow, and it'll be like Blair Witch Project," right? Because that was real popular.
I remember that.
And I had a Toyota Tercel 2-door. It was this tiny piece of junk.
Oh, yeah.
It was a piece of junk. But I also had two 12-inch subs in the trunk.
So that means you could hear your car rattling
Yeah,
down the street.
about a block away you could hear me. So everybody that got in the trunk would always be a big deal. "Hey, don't turn the subs on, though. I'm like, "Oh, I'm not even going to have the radio on, right? I want it quiet. We're going to be funny." So no, as soon as I shut the door of the trunk, I would kick the subs up as loud as I could, and I would fly and hit every single speed bump I could. I got kind of good at drifting in that car, so I would be drifting through parking lots, and you could hear the guys in the back over the subs just screaming, "Stop! Stop! No! I'm done! I got 3 people to do that before people realized that it was really stupid to get into my trunk.
Oh, yeah.
Because then it was also like a good 5 to 10 minute drive. Like, I told them I'm just going to circle the parking lot once.
Oh, yeah.
And no, I'd go down the street, I'd go get 7-Eleven, and this old car, they couldn't open the trunk. So, fun fact though, do you know how to get out of a trunk if you get locked in one without a latch?
Kick down the back seat?
Well, that's one way. The other way is you kick out the tail light.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that in the movie.
Maybe Psych. That's a whole TV show where the guy did that.
No, because I haven't watched that. But there was a movie where this girl had like gotten abducted, and she ended up kicking the headlight out and waving on the freeway through the back of the car.
Yeah, I guess like that's a weak spot. You can pop it with your foot pretty easily. So that's, in case you ever get abducted, there you go.
In case you ever run into Josh and he's like, "Hey,
get in my trunk.
Want to try something real funny?" Did you have a video camera back then, or?
Oh yeah. We were. That was back when Jackass was big. And
so same thing for me, because like what I was telling you earlier about detailing business and stuff. Right. That's why I wanted the camera. Like we are snowboarded, so it was like maybe 30%. Yeah, but let's go shred the Nord Pow Pow and like make like Vans videos. But the rest of it was playing Jackass. Yeah. And so like we had at one point like tricked this one kid into like jumping off a flight of stairs into some bushes. We had one of our friends like tuck his shirt up and then like stuff his pants and then go try and play basketball with black people at the rec center. He was a Jew. It didn't go over so well. We had to leave. One time we got one of those like shitty snowboards from Kmart, and then we hooked a tow rope up to my truck, and then we dragged each other around the parking lot. In my parking lot, like drifted the car until somebody fell. But we did all kinds of dumb shit with a video camera.
Yeah, I had a little red wagon, and I lived on a hill, so we would have a lot of fun with that. We'd build little jumps and just take off down with that. We had a guy walk into a Papa Murphy's, and as he's ordering, have his pants just fall to the ground. But we told him, like, act like it didn't happen. Yeah. So he continues his order, and then the lady goes, will you mind pulling up your pants? And then he just panicked, oh my God, my pants! And took off running. That was really funny. We hadn't quite mastered the art of hiding the camera. So you
it was a lot harder back then, because like my old camera, it was a digital one, so it was smaller. Like, they had the old high 8s, and then they had the DV cameras, which were so small.
Right.
But you didn't have a GoPro or a cell phone. Like I could stuff that in my pants if I wanted to.
That's an awkward thing to choose, but yeah. So we get a lot of pictures of coats and stuff. But you know, you said like you trick people to jump off things. That was my specialty, was the one that would jump off things. Like we would walk up to a spot and somebody like, oh man, wouldn't it be really funny if someone jumped this and fell through there? And I kind of looked like,
I could do it.
Alright. And then just take back up 3 steps and there you go.
You were that guy. See, I was the one that came up with all the ideas, but didn't really do most of them. But I was like, I gotta run the camera, and I'm clearly the brains behind this operation.
I wish I still had some of the tips. So the 2 dumbest things I did, one, I was big into skateboarding. Cause so when I got into Jackass, I was into skateboarding. So that meant I liked CKY as well. They were real extreme. So we would always try and up the ante, so to speak. I jumped off the roof of my house. Now, the plan was I was going to acid drop onto my skateboard from the roof of my house. And as I got up to the roof, I was like, man, this is pretty high. I should test it first and just make sure I can jump from here and not kill myself, because if I hit the board, that might hurt really bad. So I was like, all right, tester, I'm just going to jump first. In that test, I learned fat people bounce. We filmed it, and I hit the ground, and I came up a solid 3 inches off the ground. Broke the heel of my left foot. Problem was, I couldn't tell my parents I'm jumping off the roof. Like, they were gone. I wasn't supposed to have people over. I got like 5 people over watching me do this. And then we went bowling afterwards, and I didn't think I had an issue. I thought I can get by. I'll be okay. Until I got to the bowling alley, and I couldn't get the bowling shoe on my foot because the ankle had swelled up so much in like the hour it took us to get there.
It's like, well, I hurt my ankle bowling.
So there's me bowling with one shoe on and the other one just with my toes in it, limping up and just chucking the bowling ball. I'm like, oh, good enough, and limping back. And I missed like 3 weeks of swimming because of that. And it's really awkward to explain to your coach, like, you know, in a real serious manner, like, hey, what'd you do there? She's nervous, like, oh, I hope you're okay. And, oh, no, I jumped off my roof. You want to see the tape? It's like, oh, God.
Josh, you were so stupid.
And then at Grant High School, back in the day, they have they call it the bowl, right, where their track is and their football field. Now, back in the day, it wasn't as nice. They revamped it, but it had bark dust that went down to the track. And it was about 12 feet out, and it was 12 feet up or so. A lot of people have done some really cool skate videos there. You know, but it's a big deal to land on track. You got to put wood down, right, because your wheels won't roll. Well, I thought, okay, I can't skateboard that well. I'll jump this. I'll roll in the grass. It'll be really funny. I was flying. Like, I picked up some speed, and I ollied up, and I cleared it. I'm in the air thinking, holy shit, I'm going to make it. And then I'm kind of getting excited, right? I didn't lay wood down because, again, I didn't think my board was going to make it to the track. So when skateboard wheels touch track, they instantly stop. I mean, it's like glue. The board didn't budge. I did. Slammed my face into the track and skid like 3 lanes. I broke my left ankle. I broke my thumb. I had cut my handle up, and I had cut my face down. I had a nice big gash down the side of my face.
Did you get that on video?
Did get it on video. But I also happened to work at the pool that was like 20 feet away from there. I was a lifeguard there. So I had to limp over, bleeding from the face, can't walk, I'm carrying my board, and I'm limping over there to see my boss. I'm 16. My boss is like almost 30, and he looks at me. What the hell did you do? I'm excited. Dude, I cleared the bowl, man. I made it. This is awesome. I made it. I'm dripping blood all over myself. And then the kicker was to have my girlfriend at the time's mom just happened to be hanging out at the pool at that time and just happened to leave as I come walking up. This is the second time she's ever met me. I'm like 2 years older than her daughter. So, in high school, that's kind of a big deal. Mom didn't really like me all that well.
Oh, why are you talking to the older guy?
And now she sees this guy who's excited to be extremely bloody and beat up. And I'm stoked. Like, yeah, dog, just give me a couple bandages. I'm good. Oh, check this video out. Yeah. Just all over. It looked like I had just gotten destroyed in a fight. So
clearly you guys got married.
No, that's a different one. That one got mad at me because at the time I didn't realize, if your buddy hits you up with a better thing to do than when you're hanging out with your girlfriend,
you can't go do it.
Well, right, and if you do go do it, you can't give the excuse of that sounded like more fun.
That's not an excuse.
Well, that was the excuse.
See, that's the truth. An excuse would be in place of the truth.
All right, well, that's a good point. So I went ahead and guy calls me up. We're watching a movie. Hey, you want to play poker?
Yeah,
I want to play poker.
Sorry.
Wait, 5 minutes? Cool, yeah, I'm right down the street, man. I'll be there. Hey, I got something better to do.
Like, yeah, everybody's going to die in the end of this anyways. Bye.
So, yeah, I got a call in the middle of the poker game of, hey, so I don't think we should go out anymore because you just left. We were hanging out. It's like, yeah, we were just watching a movie.
It wasn't that fun.
It's like, oh, okay, cool. So, and that was the end of that. Like, in the middle of the poker game, oh, all right, yeah, no big deal. Cool, I'll see you around. Oh, it's my turn?
That probably wasn't meant to be here. I don't want to hold you back. And that's hilarious.
So I want to give you a little life lesson, sharing stories here. Recently had a child.
Okay.
I don't know if that's something that will be in your future, but I want to give you a piece of advice. They always say, before I had the child, everyone was telling me, oh, don't shake the baby, right? You hear that ever since you're a kid. You hear, don't shake the baby.
Yeah.
That sounds like the most ridiculous advice, right? Who would shake a baby? You would have to be nuts. I get it. I now get it. My daughter is 6 months old. I have never shaken her. I just want to make that clear.
Disclaimer.
Never done it. I get it though, because there are times where, like, the worst is she'll cry because she's tired. Now, for babies to fall asleep, all they do is put their head down.
Yeah.
And they're out. That's all they got to do. She'll be laying with her head up, crying. So I'll just do the whole little, put the head down, pops back up. Ah! So then you think, like, in your head, after 5, 10, 20 minutes of nonstop crying, giving a little and quiet doesn't sound as bad. Like, it sounds terrible here. If you don't have kids, I sound like a terrible person. But anybody that has kids is agreeing with me right now. I know they are.
You wanted to
Not saying that they shook their baby. But the other part is, it's very unsatisfying yelling at a baby.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to win.
Yeah, there's no winners in that conversation. Like, if I got mad at you and I yelled at you and I was just laid into you, I would walk away feeling a little better. It just feels good sometimes to get that out.
Slowly down out of one eye.
I feel even better, let me tell you. But a baby, again, I haven't yelled at my baby. I want to put that disclaimer out. Haven't done that one either. It's so unsatisfying though, because maybe I have done it once. When you yell at a baby, oh my God, shut up! They look at you with the same face, and you're like, there's no satisfaction out of it. It's an old Patrice O'Neal stand-up bit. When you go fishing, the reason why it's so easy to kill a fish is because there's no emotion in the face. Like, if you shoot a deer, you see the deer die, and the deer's like, you watch it. But with fish, they just sit there, and you catch them, and they're dying, but they don't blink. They just sit there. You hit them with the rock, and still nothing. And you're just like blink, just do something different. That's what happens when you yell at a baby. There's no satisfaction. And I understand how people maybe go too far sometimes.
Blanket.
Never would I do that. Honey, wife at home, I swear to God, no. But, there's times where you have to just set them down and go into another room, scream every obscenity, give a good punch to the wall, put a nice little dent in that one, fix it later, and then go back to the child. There are a couple of spots in my basement. I have my boxing pad.
You have like designated wall punching.
I have one. I have boxing gear, and so I have one of the pads on the wall. So when times get rough, it's just one good punch. Back upstairs.
I'm inclined to agree with you because not that we don't have kids yet, and I've never shaken babies because you can't go shake other people's kids.
Right. Shaking your own is bad.
Like,
but
I
others.
understand your sentiment after having been around some people's kids. I was like, I want to shake your baby. I was like, or maybe you were shaking, but I feel like maybe I was shaken as a baby. I feel like that explains a few things because my head's a little large. I've got a history of brain issues. I forget things, like literally. I've had 2 brain surgeries actually.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. We're learning things. I already saw those. To be honest, I just assumed it was something stupid.
Yeah, gang fight.
Yeah, well, that was number 3 on my list.
Yeah,
But
those San Diego gangs are crazy.
gotta watch out for those guys.
Yeah, bro. Hey, this is where we shred the nut.
Which I like too. It's fitting that you keep mentioning San Diego with the jersey today. One of your neighbors wanted to talk to me about that when I got
Is it
here.
the crazy guy next door?
The old guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, except for his way of talking to me about it was, San Diego, huh? All right. That's
so,
Padres.
If you ever notice, I park out back all the time. That's about 20% so that I can leave parking available for customers and stuff. The main reason that I park out back is so that I don't have to talk to him every day. Because literally, no joke, every single day, if I'm out there, he'll come out and he'll be like, hey, you keep working out. That's it. And he's the kind of like, he'll sit there and he'll wait for me to be like, just lose my shit laughing. I was like, okay. Or, hey, you take care of that body.
You know what though?
Hey, that sled would be a whole lot easier to push if it had wheels on it.
The worst is though, man, that's gonna be you in like 20 years. And I don't mean this much as an insult, only because I find myself becoming that more and more of that old guy. Because the older we get, the less in tune we are with things. Like, you know how depressing it is to listen to a Weird Al Yankovic album and not know the songs he's making fun of?
Yeah.
Like, I recognized one, and it's like, that's sad, getting older.
Can't recognize parody anymore. I had one of my kids, speaking of, we've talked about Straight Outta Compton and stuff, like, when I first met him, this was probably my very first old guy moment. It was last year, maybe another summer ago. But I was lifting, and he was, I think he just walked in and checked things out, and I was listening to, like, Ice Cube, like old Ice Cube, Dr. Dre and stuff, and he's like, okay, cool, and then ended up signing him up, and then had him for his first session, and I always ask people what they want to listen to. I was like, hey, what do you want to listen to? He's like, well, I don't care, and I was like, no, like, pick. He's like, no, pick whatever you want. I know you like old rap. And it wasn't like old school rap or like, I don't even want to say classic rap. I don't want to be the person who comes up with that term.
Right.
But like, he's like, you like old rap. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, and this stuff was out when I was like 5. Like I wasn't allowed to listen to it until I had to go backwards 10 years. And I like old rap.
Yeah.
Great.
Times are changing. It kind of sucks getting older. Actually, yesterday was my 29th birthday.
Happy birthday. Am I really older than you?
You must be.
Yeah, I'm going to be 30 this year.
Okay, yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry I didn't say it on Facebook.
30.
I was busy editing videos.
It's okay. I actually don't. My birthday is different on Facebook. And so it was nice. I didn't get the barrage of people I don't ever talk to telling me, hey, happy birthday.
I mean, I see you every week, so I probably would have meant more.
You know, I also keep it under wraps just a tiny bit with the birthday thing. I went through a whole day of work with only mentioning it once, and it was because my wife showed up with cupcakes, and I had to explain why they were cupcakes.
Just say happy birthday on Facebook so it's
Yeah,
real.
dude, I was doing that. Sure, I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, getting older.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of nervous for 30, only because then it feels so much different, I think.
It feels like it's real. I'm
Right.
going to be 30 in, what month is this now?
This is August.
August. 3 months. November.
Like, that's a whole nother level because it's been so long, right? 25 was the last birthday that mattered for something. You can now, like, rent a car or whatever. So we had 5 years of just, birthday, woo! But at that 30
now
mark,
it's becoming
there's
somber.
a thing.
Yeah.
And like a point like, oh, we got to do a big party because he's 30.
Yeah.
That, I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
We did
My wife's been like, she's like, we gotta
50.
do a huge thing for your birthday. I was like, I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to do this. This feels like a little mini funeral, a little bit.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, I feel like I should have my shit slightly more together. Like I'm doing okay externally. I feel like I'd be like, oh, well, he does these things. Look at all these projects he's doing. He has a business. That's so great. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Every day I get up and I just try to figure it out as I go along.
I think that's the worst. Like when you're younger, you're growing up, and so each thing's a new adventure, right? Every day something new. You're learning things. But now we're only learning the shit we fucked up on.
Yeah, I'm going back. I'm relearning the stuff I wish I'd known I'd learned 10 years ago.
Right.
But I don't necessarily know anything more about it. I just have like, the second half of 20s is like, okay, I am now at a place where I recognize how dumb the first half was. Sure wish I could figure it out. And if I didn't have to go backwards 10 years now to fix the first 5 years, I'd feel like a more accomplished 30-year-old ready to go to 35.
Yeah.
But like, now, 30 to 35 is going to be like unfucking 20 to 25. And now I'm smart enough and like I'm getting closer to having the resources to like work my way back to be worth nothing.
I feel like my 20s, the biggest thing I learned was how to stretch $20. Not because it was like, let's just be frugal. Because I only had $20 and you had 2 weeks to go and somehow had to figure out rent by the end of that 2 weeks also.
I don't know how I'm not dead. Actually, so
I wondered the same thing about myself.
So when I first started what's now the gym, this was back in 2009. My wife had been, we both worked for 24. She had gotten laid off. I was still working there. And then like 2 months after that, I freaked out. I was like, fuck this place, I can't do it anymore. I got written up for not selling enough supplements. And their supplements are all garbage there. Take that, corporate America. You can't stop me. Their supplements are all shit, so I didn't refer them, I didn't sell them to anybody. And instead, like, I sold a good amount of training. I pretty much always hit my numbers there. People liked me, they re-signed. But I didn't sell the supplements because I didn't believe in the supplements, and I'd rather they put that money towards buying more training.
Right.
So I got paid more on training, too.
Right.
So I finally got written up for not hitting my sup goal again, and I was like, this is bullshit, I can't do it anymore, I'm done. And I quit, and I was like, okay, well, I probably should have had, like, a little bit more of a backup plan.
Right.
So I took like 9 clients with. I had 15 or so back then. I was like, well, I cost $70 an hour. If I charge 50, but I get paid 50 instead of 14, I'm gonna triple my income, and I have a business. Cool.
Bam.
That's how it's gonna work. Didn't work that way.
Yeah, not quite.
So like that first month, she stopped getting her unemployment from 24. Which was like a $1,400 a month hit. So we went from like, I can start a business right now. We've at least got $1,400.
Right.
And this is back when housing didn't cost $2,000 a month. So I was like, at least I got a backup. This is the best time to do it. We lost that the first month. And then this was like October, which is the worst time of year to be in my business. So I had like business trip, holiday trip, this person, this. Somebody got in a car accident. 9 clients went down to like 4. And so we were in evictions court like 4 months in a row. Like, and not just like they're like, oh, hey, you need to pay by this day. It's like, we did that day. Then we did the extra period. Then we did the like, you have court on Monday. And then we went to the court on Monday. And if you don't have it to us by like Thursday, then you need to be gone by 5 o'clock. We did that like 4 months in a row. And so there was one point I ended up like, I just lost it one day. And I had one of my clients who I had trained for a couple of years at this, or I guess maybe 2 years at this point. She just saw me just crying at my desk because it's like, what's the matter? I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna live at 5 o'clock. So she prepaid for like a year. She's like, here, just figure it out. Go buy yourself some groceries. Like, we'll do this another day. So I would probably be homeless, or would have been homeless if it wasn't for that client of mine. But where was I going with this? So. Around that same time, I was in my last term of college. This would have been 2010, so the next year. Last term of school, and I have, at Portland State, they have, like, you have a capstone class, which is like your project. This is where you take all of your years of kind of education and, like, apply it to the world.
Sure.
And so this was the last class that I had to do to finish my degree and be done. And it was the final presentation for that last class. So it's literally the last bit of homework I had to do for college, period. And I had $7 to my name. $7 total. $7 total dollars. And I used to take the shuttle down there. The shuttle didn't run that day. And so I was like, fuck. My car was on E. So I was like, I have to get to this class. But you have to pay to park down at PSU because it's all downtown. So I was like, okay, I can't miss this class. So I put the $7 of gas money, or of just money,
Right.
$7 in my gas tank to get to the class. And I had no money for parking. So I was like, if I park on the street, they may put the boot on it and then I can't get home. Or they may tow the car and I can't get it out of tow. So I parked in the Portland State parking garage. And I had an old like parking pass thing that I kind of like rumpled up and like threw it ambiguously to make it look like I kind of tried.
You're in a rush.
Yeah. Oh, that's where I went. And then went and took my thing, passed my class, finished my degree. But I've never gotten a diploma from college because I couldn't. For like the next year or two after, I couldn't afford to pay that parking ticket because it went from like $50 to like it's probably $5,000 now.
Yeah.
So I still don't actually have a diploma.
Nice. See, we did something similar. I lived with a guy in Corvallis for a while. All of a sudden, I lived with Adrian in Clackamas, and at the time, I was gambling for a living, basically.
Yeah.
I'd go around from poker game to poker game, and there'd be a few times I'd go with like I owed Adrian my share of the rent tomorrow, and I have $20, no food, and enough gas to get where I'm going. And it's like, cool, we gotta bring something home, right? Otherwise, I won't eat. So I'd go play, and I was a good poker player, so it wasn't a big deal. I got by. I paid rent on time. I was able to cover all my bills. But then guy says, hey, I want to move to Corvallis. I was like, hey, I got nothing going on. Let's go to Corvallis. Dumbest move we could have made. We ended up, there was a spot where we had $20 between the two of us, the $20. Neither one of us had gas, and we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. We were supposed to be going to school, but we didn't have enough gas money to make it to school every day, so we kind of just said, we'll just sit here on the couch. If we don't do anything, we don't spend any money. And we went and we bought a big bag of rice, and then we went and got, we spent $10 on rice and $10 on beer. And then went to all the Chinese food restaurants we could with the gas that we had.
Still soy sauce.
It took soy sauce packets. So we didn't get enough soy sauce packets to last the bag of rice. We went for 2 months straight eating nothing but white rice and soy sauce. It was the only food we had. It was like if somebody came over, it was a luxury for them to bring like a banana. We would lose our shit over somebody bringing over a piece of fruit because we'd be eating nothing but white rice. But then we ran out of soy sauce. The Chinese food places were too far away. We couldn't drive. So we had to find a place to walk. And the closest thing to us, 2 miles away from our house, was a Taco Time.
Stole all the sauce
So
packets.
we went and we stole all the salsa packets and went like the last month of white rice and salsa.
That's awesome.
Which was just terrible. But I'll like now after doing that, I'll never complain about food or things like that. Because boy, you really learn how to stretch some stuff there. And man, spam is amazing and dirt cheap.
I almost bought meat at the dollar store once. Woo! They had it for a little bit, and I was like, oh, because you can't get any protein when you're broke. So like we spent during this whole time, like I've also stolen a roll of toilet paper.
We used to use Safeway.
So
it was close to walk over there.
I worked at it's too late to get in trouble now, but I used to work at an Anytime Fitness. So they're open, like when the first place I went shut down, that's where I was at for like 3 months. And so they're open 24 hours a day and it's key card access. And we were home at the night and we had no money already, and she was like, I really gotta go to the bathroom. I was like, okay. I was like, alright honey, I have a plan. She's like, what is it? And I was like, don't worry about it, but I'm gonna come through for you. So went down the street, and I lived across the street from this place, and kind of went in, and they had security cameras, so it's like, I gotta make it look like I'm not here to steal something, because I can't just go in and out in 5 minutes at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I go down, I have my bag, and I set up my computer, and I was like doing some work, pretending like I needed to use the Wi-Fi. I was like, oh, I should go to the bathroom. Take my backpack with me, go to the bathroom, chuck 2 rolls of toilet paper in there, go sit back down. I'm just doing some more work. Oh, tra-la-la-la-la, don't need the Wi-Fi anymore. Shut it down, left. So I used to do that. I've gone in and just grabbed fistfuls of like the Taco Bell sauces. I used to at school they had the cafeteria at PSU, and they have like the condiments on pumpers. So I'd like go in and like take condiments from school and take it back home.
We did fast food napkins as toilet paper for a long time. That was when we had to start stacking up the piles. And then there was one time where, for some reason, we had dryer sheets. And it was like one of those when we first moved in, one of our parents bought them for us. Yeah. But we didn't like use them. I mean, we were guys, so we just washed our clothes normally. And we've used dryer sheets as toilet paper before. Oh. I don't recommend that.
I've done it before. It's not good.
It's bad, but you know, push comes to shove.
Yeah, I did that a long time ago.
One time we a bunch of dudes clogged our toilet. No, we didn't have money to go buy a plunger. But our neighbor had a rose bush. And my thought was, right, it's spiky.
Snap off a branch.
Shove it in there, yeah. So I snuck out there, broke off a branch off a rose bush, and snaked our drain with a rose bush. That one worked pretty well. Yeah, we had a lot of, nobody visited us at our place. Like, they did when we first moved in, and then they realized, like, we could offer them water.
Yeah, you have nothing to offer. Like, there was that same year. This is like a 2-year stretch of hell. And then we would go to, because broken home syndrome, right? So there's like 9 Thanksgivings every year. And it's like, oh, who do we not want to hear bitch at us for not going this year? So like, we'll rotate. And this particular year, we were so broke that like Shayna's got family in Battleground, so there was like 2 Thanksgivings up there, and there was like one down here, 2 of them down here. And like one year we did the row of Thanksgivings just so we could have food.
The leftovers?
Yeah. So like, oh yeah, why are you so hungry? No reason. Am I right? Like, are you gonna finish that? No, we'll take it home. And we lived off of Thanksgiving like that whole week. Right. We're like, that was great. I have no gas anymore, but we can eat.
Right. It's alright, we'll walk wherever we need to go.
Or there was this one time, so okay, here's a good one. So like around the same period of time, we're in our 1-bedroom, and I couldn't pay all the utilities at once, right? It was either like the power was getting shut off, or like we didn't have gas, or we had phone, or didn't have phone. I couldn't not have the phone because I was still I was working somewhere else and I was starting my business. So like I had to have a phone.
Yep.
So the phone got paid first. Gas got shut off. One time we ended up like warming the house with scented candles because Shayna used to sell Scentsy back in the day. Like when she was like 17. So we probably still have some, but we had like a closet of scented candles, all different flavors, and we had the whole house being warmed by candle. And like, have you ever seen? Shit, I forget what the movie's called, but there's this one point. It's got Maya Rudolph and the guy from The Office.
Steve Carell?
No, the other guy, the white guy.
Oh, John Krasinski?
Yes. So they're in a movie together. They're like a couple that gets pregnant, and they're like huddling in their house under a blanket. It's like, are we fuck ups? It's like, no, honey, we're not fuck ups. That was our life then. Huddling in a blanket to a candle. But like that all got shut off. But we had this one crazy lady neighbor who she had internet, and I really wanted Wi-Fi because I did at least 2 years of college sitting in the steps, bootlegging Wi-Fi from the neighbors. Like, I wrote term papers, like, I trained one of my professors, like, you do realize, like, in winter, I was sitting in sweats, huddling on the stairs in my apartment complex to get a signal from the neighbor so I could do my homework. Like, so, but, like, this lady, she had internet, and so she lived downstairs and across from us, and she had a dog, and I've got a dog, and so, like, our dogs would always play when I take them to go to the bathroom and stuff. But she's like, oh, you could totally use my internet. And I was like, awesome, what's your Wi-Fi password? That would help me so much. She's like, well, I don't believe in the Wi-Fis. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, that's the whole reason we moved up here. Have you ever heard of elder abuse? I was like, no. Well, down in California, their government was trying to get us, so they hardwired the walls, and they've been trying to electrocute my mother for the last 10 years. That's why she lives here with me now. They put wires in the walls and in the floors, and every time she touched the floor, she'd get electrocuted and burned, so we moved up here. And now the wires, they transmit signals, and they've been following me for the last 2 decades, so I don't use wireless. But if you want, I can run a Cat5 wire out my window, up across, we can tuck it into the boards, go across here, 3 stories up and over, and then down into there, and into your living room, you can plug it into the wire.
Oh.
I was like, I'm good. I'm gonna just keep doing my homework in the stairs.
I'm sure their Wi-Fi password was probably psychotic.
Math.
Oh
shit! It looks like we have successfully filled up an hour.
We did.
I feel like
we're done.
I feel like I know you better.
I know so much more now. I feel like we're much closer.
Yeah, I feel like we bonded.
That,
I feel like this is where I want to sit from now on.
We both were poor. We knew what that was like.
Been through a lot of things.
Just life in general.
I feel like we should do this more often, actually. Yeah. Just random, no talk about anything day.
I was just saying, one of these times too, we got to do background stories of everybody a little bit, just because like now knowing more about you, and then with Jeff, I don't know a lot about him besides he's weird and he likes to punch trees.
Yeah, he's from where's he from? That Sandy.
So hold on, you can't go making fun of Sandy too much because I did used to live there and I grew up right next to it.
Okay.
I mean, it is a little bit of rednecks, but it's just a tiny.
It's close to the mountains, so you could also be like, I like mud and then shredded Northern pad bread. Like you'd be any of those.
Well, it was nice. One of the guys I lived with in Sandy, his parents had ski-doos or snowmobiles.
Yeah.
And so when it would snow up there, they would come and drop one off at our house, so we could get around the town.
That's awesome.
We would just mob through the town in the snowmobile to be able to get groceries and food.
That'd be fun.
That was cool.
Back when we first moved up here, I had originally wanted to move to Bend just because like. What people don't understand when they complain about the Californians is, although we do drive better, we're on average better looking, perhaps less educated since California has like this, probably now the dumbest schools in the country, but when I left it was second dumbest. But aside from all those things, like if you are into snowboarding or anything outdoors, like I don't do outdoor shit, but I snowboard. Mm-hmm. Or I did before I worked 900 days a week. But in the day, like Mount Hood is the mecca of snowboarding.
It is.
Like you sit and like we'd have like a 3-month in season of riding, and then the rest of the year you played like Cool Borders 3, and you read and you read Trans World Snowboard, and you'd sit and you'd thumb through these Trans Worlds, and you'd like Mount Hood, Mount Hood, Mount Hood, Mount Hood, and like it's July. Oh, they're still snowboarding up in Oregon.
Yep.
I was like, that place is sick. So when the opportunity came to move, I was like, we're going to Oregon. And either I want to live at Mount Bachelor or I want to live at Mount Hood. So Sandy was like a legitimate option.
Yeah.
I was like, it looks kind of like a town, and I had never been here. But I was like, it looks like a town and it's close. I want to live in Sandy because I want to snowboard. Like, I'm going to get a shitty job working as a lift operator, and it's going to be exactly like, what's that one movie?
Out Cold?
Yeah, it's going to be like Out Cold. Like, we're going to drink beer and we're going to play King of the Mountain. I was like, and that's what Oregon's like, and everyone up there is cool. And then it's not like that.
Then you got to Sandy and you saw a bunch of Confederate flags.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of Confederate flags. I was
oh.
like, so the snowboard's probably not going to be good enough cover.
Yeah. If you go up a little far, surprisingly, if you go closer to the mountain, to Mount Hood, like through Welch's, it becomes less rednecky, which is a little weird. It's just maybe they're just more spread out.
Probably more spread out.
Yeah. I used to work at the resort at the mountain, the golf course up there. And we had people who would come from Boston, live there for the summer, just so they could snowboard. And through our work, we got free snowboarding passes, and so we were able to go do that during the summer. That's a trip. I never would have thought that was something people did and that you could do.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's weird being up there though with like a T-shirt. And you take it like the first time I took all my stuff. Like, it's snowboarding. I wear all this stuff when I go. And then you end up being in like a ball cap, a T-shirt, and then eventually throwing on some shorts. And
so that's how I kind of grew up riding though, because most of the snow down in Southern California, because I grew up riding like Mount Hood and like this one small resort called Mountain High. That's where I went all the time because you could get there in an hour from my doorstep. Nice. You have to go like 90 miles an hour, but you can't because it's California because we can drive. And so we could hit the mountain like in an hour, hour and 15. But down there, half the snow is fake because it really doesn't snow down there all that much. You'll get some snow every once in a while, but it's mostly fake. It's usually not that cold. It's like 30s. But there's a lot of days where you'll go up there and you'll be wearing a T-shirt. Yeah. I'm like, this is awesome. And you can always see. That's like the biggest difference. Like you buy goggles because of the wind and stuff, but you could always see. And then I came up here and I've been able to see like 5 times.
Yeah.
And so it's not, like it's great that there's snow, but it's not actually as much fun as riding in Southern California. Because up here, you're like, you know everything can kill you, and you know there's a cliff somewhere, but you can see about 3 functional feet ahead of you, and my goggles fog up all the time, so it's like riding blind. And everything's way bigger here. Like, I rode park down there because that's all you do is you ride park.
Right.
Because the rest of the mountain takes you 45 seconds to get down. Once you learn how to stand up, like, that's as good as you're ever going to need to be. And so I rode park, and so I got up here. I was like, sweet, I'm going to go ride park. And we're going on the chairlift, and the jumps are like 80 feet tall and 100 feet long. And I'm watching an 11-year-old kid just fucking rodeos. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right, like maybe I won't ride park. There's no learning curve down there. Like, you've got, here's the 6-foot kicker, here's the 10-foot kicker, here's the 15-foot kicker, like here's the 25-foot kicker. That's about as big as they get.
Yeah. See, here to find the small jumps, you got to go through the trees because it's more fun to put the small ones where you have to dodge tree limbs as you go through.
That makes perfect sense.
Right. When I used to snowboard a bunch, I was really fast, so I would win my lunch money by betting random people. I was a high school kid, and I just start betting random people that I could beat them down the mountain. $5? Yeah, okay, cool. You do that 3 times, and you got your meal paid for. So that was cool. I would always do that. But then in the park, I had a problem with knocking myself out. I wore a helmet because I had a friend get a really bad concussion, so my mom did the instantly you're wearing this, which I loved it because then probably the next week or two, I went off one of those big 20-foot jumps or 30-foot jumps. I'm flying, go for a grab, but in the grab process I arced way too much,
and you're like,
and I got parallel with the ground, and I doing the wave, trying to get it back, and I couldn't, and I threw my helmet off, knocked me out. It was one of those. Next thing I know, there was a group of 5 people lifting my head up, and I kind of came to, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm cool, I'm good."
I'm good.
And it's like, "Oh, where's my helmet? Where's my stuff?" Sweet, let me keep going. And they made me sit there and wait, and made some medic come out and talk to me. And I've been knocked out 4 times snowboarding. 3 of them all off of jumps. Never hit trees or anything. And then the worst though, I had a skier hit me from behind with his pole in the back of the head. This is when I didn't have the helmet. And he knocked me out and sent me flying. I don't know if you're familiar with Timberline, but they used to call it Poochie. I don't know what they call their run, but the main run in Timberline has a spot near the end where it's just a big hill, and it goes to the lift, right? So for snowboarders, if you wanted to go to the secondary lift,
you had to go up down there, and you got to bomb straight down, or you're not going to make it. So you can make it, right? So here I am, I'm bombing, and again, I'm really fast, and I'm one of those guys I could stick my board straight. I didn't need to carve. I had the balance. So I'm tucked. I'm humming down. Next thing I know, I'm face first into the snow, just skidding to a stop. And a couple minutes later, there's again people trying to help me up and talking to me, and I stood up and I was like, wow, did I catch an edge? What the hell happened? And my buddy comes, he had fallen, but he comes running with his board in his arm. Get that motherfucker! And I'm looking around what are we doing? I'm hazy. It's like, that son of a bitch hit you. So we chased after him. He was much faster than us, so we never caught him. And then I threw up. We made it to the lift to get it back up, and I ended up throwing up on the lift because I had a concussion. To where the people after I got off, they wouldn't let me keep going. They said I was done for the day and boarding. So then I had the awkward of just sitting in the lodge and drinking coffee. Guys, how's it going?
No, they won't let me. I'm too stupid right now.
In trouble.
So snowboarding is fun, but I'm afraid to go back now. To be honest,
that's kind of where I'm at because I'm too good to be. I'm too good to just not do anything. But I'm too uninsured, old, and too primary of an income generator to go ham on snowboards anymore. Snowboarding is one of those things that I feel like it's best when you're younger.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still enjoy it, and I think I understand now why old people ski.
Yeah.
Because going down the shit, that's all you do. That's all you're supposed to do. Snowboarding, once you can stand up and not fall over, there's nothing else to learn.
Right.
You need to you don't need skill, you need balls now.
Yep.
Skiing is you stand up and you go that way. You don't need any, okay, cool. Then you need to get good at doing moguls or going down hills and knowing cuts and stuff. There's not really balls anymore, it's just skill. Snowboarding's the opposite. It's like, meh, cool. If you can stand up and not fall over and learn how to ride, barrier to entry is a little higher. But after that, you just need balls and insurance. And so, like, back in the day, I'd be like, no big deal, cool, throw yourself off a jump. I land on my shoulder every single time. Like, I've overshot landings and landed on the flat bottom. Like, I've been in the air, I'm like, oh, here Jesus take the wheel. And then landed on my chest and done that. But I really did.
Dude, I've been holding that one for like 15 minutes.
That's alright, you get a pardon. But, like, you need to have insurance, because at the point there, it's like, worst thing that happens, I maybe go see a doctor, and I don't have to not go to school for a few days.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Now it's like, okay, so riddle me this one, because lift tickets are also now $100.
Right.
I used to pay $20 for a lift ticket. Now I feel old again. And I was like, so now what you're telling me is I need to spend $100 for a lift ticket, a tank of gas, which in my truck is about $70.
Yep.
Probably not 55 or 60 because it's cheaper. But like $60 for gas, so I'm $160 in. If I pack my own food, which I kind of usually will, and don't want to ever like get a single beer that day. If I do any of those things, I'm now closer to $200.
Yep.
So I'm going to spend $200 to go down the mountain, and if I do anything heroic, I risk hurting myself. If I hurt myself, I then have to make sure I can get myself back down the mountain. I have to pay out of pocket for my doctor visit because I'm not insured, because that's not that affordable for me.
I do like the affordable healthcare was supposed to be.
I can't afford it. No, go figure. Telling me I have to spend $600 a month in insurance doesn't help me.
Yeah.
So I have to pay for my own doctor visit. I then have to figure out how to cover my work schedule for myself, since I'm self-employed, or I have to just not get paid.
Yep.
That's a whole lot of objections for me than just otherwise being like, you know what sounds good? Drinking a beer in a chair.
Yeah. Then you spend like $2.99, no risks.
And I sit there and I'm happy. And then you know what? Come Monday, I can go put circles on sticks and lift them up and down. Because I'm pretty good at that. Snowboarding's more fun under 200 pounds, I've come to find out.
Yeah.
I'm really fast, but I'm very fast.
That was
in a straight line.
That's why I was good. I think I was about 280 at the time that I was at my peak speed. And it was because, when you put a giant rock, it flies down the mountain. So
You're like a funny car now, not an autocrosser.
Right.
They don't really make snow clothes for my particular level of curviness. I don't know if you've ever seen skinny snowboard pants, but it's a thing.
Yeah, oh, that's not good.
All right,
we've gone on. I gotta go to a great restaurant. I'm gonna give them a small plug just cause. From Craze Country Kitchen in Gresham. I'm about to have me a 12-egg omelet today. I'm very excited for lunch, dinner, and then my midnight snack as well.
For the entire next day's worth of food.
Nothing but eggs. Cool. Make sure you guys check out the Chalk Talk page on Facebook or chalktalk.tv, the website where you can watch the podcast, or you can just find out any news, links to the Alpha Project, links to Savage Gym, links to Inner Beast CrossFit. I'm not going to plug those for those guys because they're not here. They can take care of it themselves. Otherwise, find us on Facebook, me, Josh Larson on Facebook, or J Larson 2498 on Twitter. So we can put the @ sign in front of that.
You know what's funny is Shayna watched last week's episode and she made fun of me for spelling my name. She's like, oh, Jaron, you can find me at J-E-R-O. I was like, you're married to me.
You have to be supportive.
Don't forget, you can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, for those of you who don't have iPhones.
Yeah.
If you don't have the iPhone. And if you do actually enjoy episodes like this that aren't necessarily about anything and you just kind of enjoy listening to us bullshit a little bit, let us know. Drop us a comment. We'll do more of these. They actually take, go figure, far less preparation and work than the average episode.
I will say this was much easier than the
And can you imagine how horrible it would have been if we didn't show up and it was just Jeff and Adrian? Online coaches. In my opinion,
bench,
water,
and then a lot of this.
I bench press.
A lot of this.
The most piece of equipment you need is a wrist wrap. I was like, yeah, unless you power lift.
Do other things.
Yeah, that would have sucked. Yeah, maybe we need to just do this. Maybe just the Jeron and Josh episode.
Every once in a while, the intimate hour. Make sure too to check out the YouTube page. We've been making up a few more videos trying to add some stuff on there. If you guys do listen to us on iTunes, leave a comment.
Leave
rate
a
us.
5-star rating.
You know, I'm not going to say leave a 5-star rating, but if you're less than a 5-star, then there's no point in going on there and giving us a rating.
Leave us positive feedback.
You know, yeah, let us know. We're always open for ideas and for other things to do. You know, there's a lot of topics in powerlifting that we haven't touched yet, and we kind of want to know what you guys want to see. So let us know. Keep us updated, and we'll keep you updated. Follow our pages. You'll see some good stuff. I think that's it for this week.
All right. Suck it.